بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وعن أبي عبد الرحمن عبد الله بن عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنهما قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول انطلق ثلاثة نفر ممن كان قبلكم حتى آواهم المبيت إلى غار فدخلوه فانحدرت صخرة من الجبل فسدت عليهم الغار فقالوا إنه لا ينجيكم من هذه الصخرة إلا أن تدعوا الله تعالى بصالح أعمالكم. قال رجل منهم اللهم كان لي أبوان شيخان كبيران وكنت لا أعبق قبلهما أهلا ولا مالا فنأى بي طلب الشجر يوما فلم أرح عليهما حتى ناما فحلبت لهما غبوقهما فوجدتهما نائمين فكرهت أن أوقظهما وأن أغبق قبلهما أهلا أو مالا فلبثت والقدح على يدي أنتظر استيقاظهما حتى برق الفجر والصبية يتضاغون عند قدمي فاستيقظا فشربا غبوقهما. اللهم إن كنت فعلت ذلك ابتغاء وجهك ففرج عنا ما نحن فيه من هذه الصخرة فانفرجت شيئا لا يستطيعون الخروج منه. قال الآخر اللهم إنه كانت لي ابنة عم كانت أحب الناس إلي وفي رواية كنت أحبهما كأشد ما يحب الرجال النساء فأردتها على نفسها فامتنعت مني حتى ألمت بها سنة من السنين فجاءتني فأعطيتها 20 و100 دينار على أن تخلي بيني وبين نفسها ففعلت حتى إذا قدرت عليها وفي رواية فلما قعدت بين رجليها قالت اتق الله ولا تفض الخاتم إلا بحقه فانصرفت عنها وهي أحب الناس إلي وتركت الذهب الذي أعطيتها. اللهم إن كنت فعلت ذلك ابتغاء وجهك فافرج عنا ما نحن فيه فانفرجت الصخرة غير أنهم لا يستطيعون الخروج منها. وقال ثالث اللهم استأجرت أجراء وأعطيتهم أجرهم غير رجل واحد ترك الذي له وذهب فثمرت أجره حتى كثرت منه الأموال فجاءني بعد حين فقال يا عبد الله أد إلي أجري فقلت كل ما ترى من أجرك من الإبل والبقر والغنم والرقيق من الإبل والبقر والغنم والرقيق فقال يا عبد الله لا تستهزئ بي فقلت لا أستهزئ بك فأخذه كله فاستاقه فلم يترك منه شيئا اللهم إن كنت فعلت ذلك ابتغاء وجهك فافرج عنا ما نحن به. فانفرجت الصخرة فخرجوا يمشون. متفق عليه. أبو عبد الرحمن سيدنا عبد الله بن عمر بن الخطاب, may Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala be pleased with both of them, narrated that he heard Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as saying, 3 men amongst those who came before you set out until night came, and they reached a cave. So they entered it. A rock fell down from the mountain and blocked the entrance of the cave. They said, nothing will save you from this unless you supplicate to Allah by virtue of a righteous deed you have done. Thereupon, one of them said, O Allah, I had parents who were old, and I used to offer them milk before any of my children or slaves. One day, I went far away in search of grazing, and could not come back until they had slept. When I milked as usual and brought the drink, I found them both asleep. I hated to disturb them, and also disliked to give milk to my children before them. My children were crying out of hunger at my feet, but I awaited with the bowl in my hand for them to wake up. When they awoke at dawn, they drank milk. O Allah, if I did so to seek your pleasure, then deliver us from the distress caused by the rock. The rock moved slightly, but they were unable to escape. The next said, O Allah, I had a cousin whom I loved more than anyone else. In another version, he said, as a man can love a woman. I wanted to have sexual intercourse with her, but she refused. Hard pressed in a year of famine, she approached me. I gave her 120 dinars on condition that she would yield herself to me. She agreed, and when we got together for sexual intercourse, she said, fear Allah and do not break the seal unlawfully. I moved away from her in spite of the fact that I loved her most passionately, and I let her keep the money I had given her. O Allah, if I did that to seek your pleasure, then remove the distress in which we are. The rock moved aside a bit further, but they were still unable to get out. The third one said, O Allah, I hired some laborers and paid them their wages, except one of them departed without taking his due. I invested his money in business, and the business prospered greatly. After a long time, he came to me and said, O Abdullah, O slave of Allah, pay me my dues. I said, all that you see is yours, camels, cattle, goats, and slaves. He said, O slave of Allah, do not mock at me. I assured him that I wasn't joking. So he took all the things and went away. He spared nothing. O Allah, if I did so seeking your pleasure, then relieve us from our distress. The rock slipped aside, and they got out walking freely. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. We can learn from this hadith that it is permissible to pray to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala through our righteous deeds, through our Salih al-A'mal, and through the awliya of Allah and the anbiya of Allah, as the Prophet ﷺ told us in the hadith al-A'ma. That's number one. Number two, preference should be given to the service of our parents, even over the service of one's wife or children. Number three, to abstain from sins out of fear of Allah is highly meritorious. Is a highly meritorious act. Number four, laborers should always be treated fairly. If someone has paid to a laborer less than his due, it should be paid to him in a decent manner. Number five, any supplication which is made sincerely and with the real sense of humbleness is granted by Allah Ta'ala, as we can see in this hadith. Number six, Allah sometimes helps His pious man even in an unusual manner, which is termed as karama, wonder or marvel, like as miracle. That's like the miracles of the prophets alayhi salatu wassalam. The wonders of the righteous people are also true. But miracles and wonders, meaning al-mu'jizat wal karamat, both appear with the will of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. May Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala make us among His awliya, those who have no fear except the fear they have for Allah Ta'ala, those who will meet nothing they do not like, both in this dunya and in akhirah. Allah sallallahu ala sayyidina Mouhamed ala alihi haqqa qadrihi wa miqdarihi al-azim. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.